What's up, y'all? It's me. I hit the red button once again. It's gonna be a little bumpy, so just kind of calibrate yourself. Anyway, before I forget why I hit the red button, just to spit it out, money. You know, most of my life, I've never been driven or influenced, or at least in my mind and my genetic egotistical makeup, that's not something that I ever wanted to be about. And a lot of it has to do with, obviously, maybe the way I was raised and the conditioning of money and how I felt about money. And a lot of those things are passed down to us as children, as, you know, we can't afford this, we live in this type of house, drive this type of cars, or our parents have these kinds of jobs. And so that, you know, you are who you hang around, and you are who you're brought up with. And when you see that those are, you know, by looking over the picket fence and seeing what other people have, you realize where you're at on the social economic scale. So a lot of that conditioning is hard to get rid of, even if you say, you know, this is where I was at as I was raised, and I will never be there as an adult. But a lot of times you don't understand what it takes because you've never been shown how to reprogram yourself and give yourself the skills necessary to achieve. Ooh, I'm in a pickle here. I gotta slow down. This big rig's coming over. To achieve a lifestyle that you grow up dreaming about. And you know, I felt that way, but even as I went along through my path of adulthood into entrepreneurship, you know, I started my first company when I believe I was 30 or 31. Was my first business, my shave ice company, Get Shaved. And I thought that was it. We made it. We broke through. We started in 2008, and by 2012, you know, I owned a home and had 4 stores and 60 employees, and thought that things were only going onward and upward. As you know, within the business, as the things started to shift and sales started to drop and costs started to go up, and didn't know how to correct it. And I remember the feeling of fear starting to creep in, going, oh no, like, what happens if I lose it? You know, what happens if this, and what happens if that, and how am I gonna make it? And you know, and all of a sudden these limiting beliefs where when we started the freaking thing, we were fearless. Everybody else was like, "What are you doing? How are you going to do that? I don't understand." And next thing you know, it's like through one foot in front of the other, and just moving forward. Next thing you know, you build a shaved ice truck to a shaved ice cart, and get a store, and then 2 stores, and then 2 trucks, and then 3 stores, and 4 stores. And the next thing you know, it's like you feel pretty fucking invincible. And then you get knocked upside your head, and all of a sudden the fear starts creeping. Oh, we got to pull back. Oh my God, we got to get rid of the store. Oh, we got to do this. Oh, like, oh, let's shut down the other one. Oh, the elephant in the room, pandemic, you name it, marriage ends. You finally close the doors to the business because it just all seemed just overwhelming, and you just accept failure and go get a job. That was something we always said. We're like, hey, if this doesn't work out, when we decided to do the business, that was our plan B. Our plan B was like, hey, if all else fails, we'll just go get jobs. Well, guess what? I got a job, she's got a job, and it was a choice to let the business fail. I don't know where we would have been. Maybe we'd be in more debt than we were. Man, that guy's going about 100 miles an hour plus. But ultimately, to circle back, what I think was the driving force of what led us to where we are at is our limiting beliefs around money, and the feeling of not being deserving of it, and having that really nice house that we had with a beautiful view of the entire valley. I've learned a lot. And all along the way, the focus was never on the money. And people always say, don't focus on the money. If you don't focus on the money, money comes. And there's all these taglines and caveats to sayings and blah, blah, blah. But ultimately, if you're not focused on the money and you don't have it, all of a sudden you become focused on the money, especially when you can't afford gas in your truck or food on the table. And that's not a good place to be. And I've been there many a times in my life, having 4 stores and 2 trucks and not having money to put gas in your gas tank. All the bellies of all our employees and all our vendors were all fulfilled, and there we were as business owners, scraping to get by. And I'm not bitching and moaning or complaining about it. I'm just telling you that was the facts. That's what was, and that's it's what is now from time to time. Now that I just got the job, so it's almost like, quit all that, gave it all away, thinking that would alleviate the money problem. And nope. Here I'd much rather have my business still going, be in debt, and have cash flow coming in, and still having the opportunity to figure that out. So with that being said, I'm about to pull into my parking spot to my 2 to 10:30 job at the airport. But ultimately, the point is, I'm at a point in my life where I am going to recondition and repurpose my brain around money, and it is now going to be a priority. And I've got everything. I've got a great life with my boys. I got a healthy balance. They're growing up to be outstanding young men and great people. I might be a little biased, but I have my morning routines. I take care of my health, because ultimately health is your true wealth. The last thing that I've yet to really focus on intentionally is money. And anything that I've ever tried to focus on and manifest and make happen, I've pretty much succeeded at it. And so I am now consciously going to shift my attention on creating wealth. And look, I have a job, I have a business, which is right now basically a second job with the junk hauling business, Valley Strong Hauling and Junk Removal. Shameless plug. But anyway, that's what popped into my head. That's where my mind is shifting to. And I just thought I would share that with y'all, and we'll see kind of where this goes from this point forward. Anyway, hope everybody's having an amazing day. I'll check back with you soon. One love.